What's up, your boy? A guy named Tyler reporting live from the MITM podcast. And today, we're continuing our imagination exercise with a grocery store. Run my intro.
Caught up in them bright lights, lost the shiny things that's golden. Everything ain't always what it seems, that it's soaking. Chasing my dreams, coming apart at my seams. Best believe that the money is the motive.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the MITM podcast. And today we're continuing with infinite banking, specifically the grocery store. Okay. Now, what is the grocery store? Now, the grocery store is the continuation of the imagination exercise that we've done. Okay. Now, Nelson is asking us to examine the process of getting into a business in which you're both the consumer and a seller of the same thing. Okay. There's a very significant reason for this exercise. Now, a grocery store will easily meet these qualifications. Everyone consumes groceries, and someone has to perform the distribution function. You have an unlimited market. Everyone is a potential customer, as well as you and your family, and maybe some other captive customers. You started all by studying what the grocery business is all about. All the things that are necessary to be successful as an entrepreneur in this field. This is going to take some time and expense. When you feel competent to start the venture, you must now find a good location for the business. The real estate folks says there are three important things about real estate: location, and location. For such a property, you're going to pay dearly. This is not an overnight activity either. You're going to have to spend some time locating the right place. Then you must construct a very nice looking building on the property. It must have a well-arranged interior with attractive equipment, fixtures, display cases, all of that. All this is necessary because your competition has been hard at work for years in attracting customers. Customers are going to do business with stores that are convenient, that are good looking, that have quality merchandise and low prices. This means that the building, etc., is going to cost you a lot of money. Now, you have to stock the store with groceries. The merchandise must be of good quality, attractively displayed, and have competitive prices. Your employees must be attentive to customer needs, courteous, and neat. This is going to cost you a lot of money too. You open the front door for customers. They come in and load their cart with groceries, and they take them by the cashier, who collects all the money at the front of the store. This is going to leave empty spaces in the display of goods. Your hired help is busy cruising the aisles, noticing where goods have been sold and quickly going to the storeroom at the back of the store to get more things to fill those spaces. It's imperative that the store appears fully stocked at any given time. The customers demand it. Now, imagine this. Have you ever been to a grocery store that was only partially stocked? Like, did you want to keep going back to that store, or did you go to another store? Now, all this means that you're going to have to restock the storeroom and at other intervals to ensure that you have an immediate access to a bountiful supply of goods. The objective of the business is to provide you with income and build a business that you'll eventually sell to someone else to provide you with retirement income. Once you get this all set up and in operation, the difference between the back door and the front door is a very good living if you can turn inventory enough times per year. If you sell a can of peas for 60 cents at the front door, you have to replace it at the back door at the cost of 57 cents. I have found this to be a shocking revelation to most everyone. So grocery stores operate on a very small margin on such items. The can of peas sitting on the shelf for sale represents inventory. You must turn the inventory 15 times just to break even. There is all that interest you must pay on a huge sum of money you've borrowed to buy the land, to build the building, the signs, the advertising, payroll, blah, 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 all that stuff. Okay? You have to turn it 17 times and you'll be profitable. If you can turn inventory 20 times per year, you can retire early. Something dramatic happens once you get over that hump. There's this thing that we say it normally takes, it takes 45 days, or 90 days technically. The first 45 days going up the hill is difficult, but the second 45 days is easy. So we have to get over that hump to be able to actually turn inventory enough times in our grocery store. Okay. Here's a quick story that Nelson wanted to share. So it all reminds me of a phenomenon in physics. If you take a pail of water to the seaside, so you're at sea level, and heat it to 210 degrees Fahrenheit, all you have is very hot water. But if you heat it up to 212 degrees, you have live steam with unbelievable power. The steam engine changed the world, but it doesn't happen until you get past 212 degrees. Lots of heat goes into the process up to that point, up to the boiling point, but the dramatic power comes suddenly. Thus far, the business looks pretty simple, but now we complicate the picture. Assuming that you're a male, married with children, where's your wife going to shop for groceries? Well, obviously your store. Further assuming that she chooses correctly and shops at your store, she comes in the front door, fills her cart with groceries. Here comes the complicated part. Please pay close attention. This point is critical and requires scrupulous honesty. Out of which door is she likely to take the groceries from? The front door or the back door? Now, when delivering lectures, I ask this question and wait for the answer. An amazing number will readily admit that in all probability she wants to go out the back door, avoiding the cashier at the front door. This is a very polite description of theft. Probably more businesses have been destroyed or severely limited by this sort of behavior than anything else. It's a feeling amongst owners that those related to them that this is our business, so we can do anything we want to. Unless this misunderstanding is curbed, the business is doomed. Okay. Over an extended period of time, can she go out the back door with her groceries without the hired help witnessing her act? I don't think so. So what will the hired help do as a result? They're going to steal groceries too. You can predict it with certainty. If you're unaware of the prevalence of theft in retail business, do yourself a favor and make friends with someone who owns or manages a retail business. Then ask about how common is theft by employees. The answer will probably shock you. Question who pays for all of this theft? The customers who go past the cashier with their goods and pay for them. That's who. It can't come from just anywhere else. Theft is devastating. Just consider if your wife steals 1 can of peas, you have to sell 20 to make up for it. There's another thing that makes owners and their family members want to go out the back door. Every business in the US and Canada has a silent partner, the CRA. If your wife goes out the front door and pays retail for groceries just like everyone else, then your store makes more money than if she went out the back door. And then the CRA posture is the more you make, the more we take. But suppose we could have a situation where the profits from the sale of groceries are not subject to income tax. Now we've eliminated one incentive to go out the back door with goods. The only problem that remains is the human instinct to want to use the back door privilege. This urge must be overcome. Your business is at stake. However, you and your family, plus maybe some others, are captive customers for your store. You're all not going somewhere else to buy groceries. By now, you should realize that if you charge these captive customers wholesale prices, you have defeated the purpose of the business to provide income for you and to build a business that will eventually, that you'll eventually sell and use the proceeds for retirement income. If you charge them retail prices, you're going in the right direction. But these are captive customers. Why not charge these folks 62 cents for the can of peas? The extra 2 cents will go directly to additional capital to buy more cans of peas to sell to another customer. Hopefully you can see what continued use of this practice can do to the profitability of your business. If you do this over a long number of years, and your record books will show a superior profitability picture. When you sell your business some years later, You're in competition with someone else who has not obeyed the principles. He and his family members took their groceries out the back door. The record books of this man's business will never look as good as yours. That is, if he's still in business at all. In all probability, he's gone out of business a long time ago. But even if he's still around, you can guess which business will bring the better price. Yours. And this makes it possible for you to clip larger coupons at retirement time. I hope that you've learned this little lesson well. We'll revisit the grocery store later in the book. If you understand the grocery store, the rest of learning how to be your own banker is a piece of cake. Oof. So we see that the wife in this situation is able to actually steal from the store by going out the back door. Okay. And we want to make sure that we're as profitable as possible. So we don't want to be stealing from our own business. Now, I asked my friend the other day, if you had the option and the opportunity to give out as much money as you want to your family, would you? Or if you had your own bank, would you just take money from it? And they said, yeah, I would. I would just use it. Instead of building something out in a way where you own and control everything, so you should pay more into the thing that you control than anything else. Like, that's one of the core concepts of this idea. Okay. But it does take more imagination to really think about what this means. So if I'm going to go and sell t-shirts to my friends and family, I should charge my friends and family more money for the t-shirts than I charge regular people. If I have a restaurant, you want to come and eat at my restaurant, my friends and family should tip more than they do at other restaurants because it's my restaurant. But something that I find people do so much, especially in, the African Canadian diasporic community, people are always asking for discounts. People are always saying, I want discounts. I want this for less. I want this for whatever. And it's like, it doesn't even take into consideration the fact that it costs me money to operate my business. It's like, if you want a discount, you're taking away from my business and what I could do in the future. In fact, once people find out what the actual cost of things are, more times than not, they're like, oh, just give it to me at cost. And it's like, how am I supposed to eat as a business owner then if I just give it to you at cost? How does that benefit me? Does that make any sense? And it really does take a lot for people to really be able to understand and really be able to see what it is exactly that they're asking you to do. It's like, if I crazy example, I used to be able to buy pencils and erasers when I was young at this like convenience store by my house for like 10 cents. But when I went to school, all the kids thought that they were cool because they were glittery and whatever. So I would sell them for 25 cents. Now, if they found out I was getting them for 10 cents and they're like, hey, just give it to me for 10 cents, then I walked over to the store, took the time to buy the stuff, packed it up, brought it to school, waited for recess, went outside. Instead of playing at recess, I was going around saying, who wants pencils? I did all of that work just to give you the same thing that you could have walked to the store yourself and gotten. Heck, they didn't even live in my neighborhood, so they couldn't walk to the store to get. So maybe they'd have to get their parents to go and drive them to the store and whatever to get their 10-cent pencil. It's like, it costs money. It costs money to do all these things. So why on earth would I give a discount? Why on earth would I steal from my store? In fact, why would I give it away for free? And now I gotta work so much harder to break even and then some. But could you imagine if you had your own bank and you chose to pay yourself a 15% interest rate on a loan instead of the 10% or the 2% that the bank would? How would that change your money? Anyways, that's it for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Give 'em that creme de la